there, babe.
Hi.
What's going on today?
We're on the move.
And that's it, huh? Just on the move?
Just on the move. We're headed to Wakatobi, which is about, what, 380 miles from here, in Banda here. So we're going 400 miles that way to Wakatobi.
Yes, and we're leaving first amongst all our friends, aren't we?
We are. Yeah, we're leaving them behind. They're leaving, I think Slow Flight's leaving this afternoon and Mirny is leaving tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
But they're both planning on taking 3 nights and we're only going to take 2 nights. So, but like we'll get in late our 2nd day out, 3rd day out.
Well, we'll see. The winds are such, I think we might be able to go a little fast.
David thinks we're going to zoomy.
Famous last words, which means we'll go slow. So.
We'll see what happens. We're either going fast or we're going really slow.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the two.
Yep.
The wharf in Banda is fairly well protected, thanks to the tall islands surrounding it. So it took a while to get out into some clean air, but once we did, let's just say going really slow is not quite in my vocabulary.
We are definitely off to a zoomy start. The wind leaving the island was a little shifty and gusty, which makes sense since it was, getting around a volcano. But once we got clear of the island, things kind of settled in and picked up just a bit. We've been seeing true wind speeds in the low 20s, so apparent's been kind of roughly 15 to 20. We've had a reef in the Maine, a reef in the Genoa, and have just been flying along between like 7 and 9 knots, and that's kind of fun. I enjoy doing that. The waves are a little wishy-washy, so I think poor Amy's not feeling particularly great. She's downstairs napping right now. And the other thing that was a little frustrating as we were leaving today, in Indonesia there are a bunch of what we call FADs, F-A-D-S, and that stands for Fish Attraction Devices. And we went around an island today that had like a dozen of them, up to 4 nautical miles offshore and in water that was like 700 feet deep. So that's, they're like little bamboo huts that are just kind of floating out in the middle of nowhere, and it's really hard to spot when you're in, decent waves, which we are, and so trying to thread our way through that wasn't great, especially if you don't know like if there's big nets stretched between them or just kind of what's going on, but fortunately we managed to get through no problems, and now we get to enjoy some open ocean for a while.
Seeing all those fads did give us some inspiration, so we put the fishing lines out. To my pleasant surprise, it wasn't long before the clicker started singing.
What's going on here?
I always forget the clicker. But hey, we got a fish, I think.
Alrighty.
He's getting close.
Oh yeah, I see
I think
him.
it's a mahi.
Mahi.
Kind of a small one, but let's get ready for him.
Okie doke. Oh, he's just a little guy.
Yeah, he's a little small, so we're gonna toss him back. You ready?
Yeah, thankfully it was a good hook in his lip and not deeper. Swim away, yeah?
Yeah, he's going.
Okay.
All right, well, we got proof that's one fish.
Yep. Looking awfully gray out there.
Yeah, it looks up. We've been sailing so fast, I think we're catching up to a squall, which is kind of wild, but one of the things that's just kind of always annoyed me about Starry Horizons is we just don't have enough clutches here where all the winches are and everything. So we have been sailing in really light airs recently, so the halyard for the spinnaker we'd led back here With the squall coming and the higher winds now, I need to take the spinnaker halyard out and put the second reef line back in. So we're gonna do that now before we get in the middle of everything, just in case that wind pops up a little bit more.
Yes.
This process isn't incredibly difficult, it just takes a while. I have to be careful not to cross lines in order to avoid chafe, and it does result in quite a lot of rope spaghetti.
Did you get us all sorted?
We're all ready in case that storm comes and hits us, but
Okay.
it kind of looks like it's getting blown away from us, but we'll see. You know that whole Boy Scouts motto, I may not be an Eagle Scout, my dad is, my grandfather definitely was, but always be prepared. That could be a lesson. Be prepared.
Isn't there a little like hand signal or something to go with it?
Oh, you're gonna, yeah, I think
There we go.
something like that. Oh
Well,
man, I'm gonna have a lot of Eagle Scouts
you
mad
make
at me,
it so
aren't I?
professional there. There we go.
Wait, I got a smile.
Oh, the Boy Scout David.
Yeah, that's a blast from the past right there.
Cleaning up that spaghetti is a pretty vital part of being prepared to reef the sails at a moment's notice. And it's a good thing I took care of it quickly, as the wind did indeed strengthen, which required us to put the second reef in. We are officially starting our second day out at sea for this little small passage, I guess. Yesterday was a pretty fast one. We ended up doing about 7.6, 7.7 knots for the full day, so that qualifies as Zoomy, I think. The last night was a touch bit frustrating though, as the wind, we had several squalls that rolled through, so it kind of messed with the wind direction, the wind speed quite a bit. So before I went to bed last night, we put a second reef in the main. We still have that in. We probably could pull it out, but we're going plenty fast at this moment, so we're just gonna take it a little bit easy. Wait for Amy to wake up, you know, try to let her get a little more sleep, I think. The cool thing this morning is I was looking off in the distance, watching the sunrise, and I saw some whale spouts. So that is always a really cool way to start the day. They didn't come very close or anything, and couldn't get them on film, but you know, seeing some whales, it's kind of cool. And yeah, so got the fishing lines out, still going pretty decently. Should be arriving well within our scheduled arrival time before sunset tomorrow is the plan. The whales weren't our only early morning visitors, as we had a stowaway up on deck. How it managed to get all the way up there, I have absolutely no idea. Sometimes it just absolutely amazes me how a squall can pass right in front of us, and there's another one forming right behind us, but we're squirting right through the middle of them, which is pretty amazing that we're not getting just absolutely slammed, because it looks like there's a lot of rain out here today. We were able to dodge the squalls, but it wasn't long before Amy's morning sleep was rudely cut short.
We got another one.
Yeah, I think it might be kind of small this time too, because I've been dragging it on the surface most of the way back.
Another small one.
But we'll see. 2 fish is not too bad.
Wow, look at that.
Hold still, please.
Okay, buddy, you're going free.
Hey, our first sailfish
That
officially
was
on the
landed.
boat. That's
He's
exciting.
He's so small.
Yeah, you're a teeny tiny one.
All right, back you go, buddy.
Bye, buddy.
What's up with the small ones?
I don't know, but 2 fish, that's pretty good. Just, you know, if we could like combine them into one that's bigger, that'd work better, I think.
I have to admit, it was kind of cool to actually finally reel in like our first sailfish and get it on the boat. I think it may be cheating just a little bit to, you know, count one that small, but that was pretty cool. And 2 fish on the boat for, you know, a 2-day passage. That's not too bad. Although not over yet, so hopefully we actually catch one we can keep. But yeah, a little excitement of fishing this trip. Haven't had that in a little while. How are we looking tonight, Admiral?
Peachy.
Just peachy, huh?
Peachy.
Well, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a clearer night tonight than it was last night, hopefully.
Yeah, we've had squalls for like last 24 hours at least.
Yeah. But we're moving and grooving.
Still bouncing apparently. You can see
Yeah.
with the swaying of the camera.
Yeah, it is pretty bouncy.
So, still arrival tomorrow's plan?
Yep, you're thinking early afternoon. So yeah, it'll be just a little bit over 48 hours. And
Not too bad, Starry Horizons.
yeah, not too shabby at all.
Alright, my dear, why are you going bright and then dark?
Well, you did something.
Yes, apparently I touched the light and that was dumb.
Yeah, it's like disco lights in here.
That's not supposed to be happening. I attempted to turn on the red light, and yeah, that's no good.
Since it wasn't a critical issue and I was supposed to be going to bed, I chose to just kill the power and get some sleep.
I figured we better do at least one nighttime passage report on this trip. The winds have died down a little bit and shifted a bit behind us, so we're going a bit slower. I am okay with that because we're coming up on a couple of islands and we have to kind of round those before we can make our final turn in towards Wakatobi, where we're going. The problem is I want to round these islands during daylight hours because I'm a little worried about all the fads and stuff like that. So we're just going to take it a little bit slow and then I'll adjust some sails once we round them. I think we're only about 10 miles away and sunset's coming up here pretty soon. So should be alright. And we are well on track to arrive by around lunchtime, would be my guess, which is pretty much perfect. So feeling pretty good about this passage. Got our second and last sunrise at sea for this passage. We've timed it just about perfectly because the islands that I wanted to keep clear of are on our port side right now, just as we're getting some light. I haven't seen any fads, so that's a good sign. And we've got just a couple miles to go until we're gonna make our final turn into the last stretch for the passage, so working out pretty nicely.
Being awake for sunrise while on passage is a special treat. Normally, I'd still be in bed sleeping, but there is just something kind of magical about welcoming a new day with a splash of color.
Just woke up from a nap and that'd be land. We're almost there and we just have to do a little bit of upwind sailing to try to actually make it into the anchorage. Amy's up there at the helm working hard.
You always seem to have to work the hardest for the last couple miles. Eventually, we rolled in the sails and turned the engines on as we wanted total control while anchoring, especially since this spot was one of the most challenging anchorages we've ever been at. We motored right up to a wall that dropped off to a ledge over 40 meters deep. All 100 meters of our chain went out, which was still not enough scope, so we set an anchor alarm and kept an eye on the wind. If it shifted or picked up, we'd need to move. Fortunately, things stayed calm, and Hoga Island turned out to be well worth the trouble.
Hey y'all, thanks for watching our video at Sailing to Wakatobi. We had quite the fast sail. We were pretty pleased. It's unfortunate we didn't catch any fish though. Up next, we are going diving and snorkeling in Wakatobi, and David and I eat something a little weird. See you next time.